Welcome to my channel, where today we'll be counting down the top 10 anime where the main character looks and acts weak or lazy, but is actually extremely overpowered. So if this is a topic that interests you, make sure you stick around, as there might just be some anime on this list that'll surprise you. But with all that being said, let's jump right into the top 10. Number 10. Suppose a kid from the Last Dungeon Boonies moves to a starter town. A long time ago, the ancient saviors of humanity founded a village as their haven, and even now their descendants are said to assist humanity in times of extreme chaos. This village is known as Kulan, and is located just beside the infamous Last Dungeon, a place where monsters with unimaginable strength reside, and is also the place that serves as a hunting ground for the residents of Kulan. However, despite being accustomed to defeating powerful enemies since a child, Lloyd Belladonna regards himself as the weakest in his village, in terms of magic, strength, and intelligence. Even so, to fulfill his desire of becoming a soldier, he goes to the Kingdom of Azumi to enroll in its military academy. However, as someone whose upbringing defies all common sense, Lloyd's innate power might just prove to be the key to ending the crisis enveloping the kingdom. Number 9. Junai Tensei Zodiac Wars. Every 12 years, mercenaries who possess the highest caliber of brute strength, cunning wit, and deadly precision gather together to participate in the Zodiac tournament, with each warrior bearing both the name and attributes of one of the 12 animals from the Chinese zodiac. Now, with both their pride and lives on the line, they engage in vicious combat until only one victor remains. The 12th Zodiac tournament is now set to begin in a desolate city devoid of any evidence of the 500,000 people who recently lived there, and to raise the stakes, each warrior ingests a poisonous gem, and in doing so, setting both a time limit on the tournament as well as their lives. However, with the knowledge that the winner will be granted any wish they could ever imagine, the Zodiac warriors start their cutthroat battle for survival. Number 8. Alderamin on the Sky. Ikta Salork is a carefree young man who only wants two things in life: a woman on his arm and a place to take a nap. Unfortunately, his peaceful life is destroyed when war breaks out between the Katjavarna Empire and the neighboring Republic of Kyoka. Now, Ikta alongside his childhood friend Yatori Shino Iksem join the army as military officers, where they meet the infantryman Matthew Tetoji Ricci, the sniper Torre Remion, and the medic Hiroma Becker on a boat heading for the military exam site. However, after a rogue storm sinks their vessel, the five of them end up in enemy territory near a military outpost. There, they discover that the heir to the Katjavarna throne has been taken hostage. However, the five of them are able to rescue her, and as a reward, each one is granted the title of an Imperial Knight, which is one of the highest honors a soldier can receive. And now, it seems that Ikta must put his dreams of tranquility on hold, as he must become the hero he never wanted to be. Number 7. Chivalry of a Failed Knight. There exist few humans in this world with the ability to manipulate their souls to form powerful weapons dubbed blazers. These people study and train at the prestigious Hagen Academy to become mage knights. Among these students is a so-called failure, Iki Kurigane, who is a sole F-rated blazer. However, when the worst student in the academy sees Stella Vermilion, an A-ranked blazer who also so happens to be a princess, naked, she challenges him to a duel with dire stakes. The loser will become the slave of the winner. And with no possible way that an A-ranked blazer would ever lose to the worst student in the academy, the two engage in combat. However, to everyone's surprise, Iki might not be as weak as his rank may suggest. And thus, Chivalry of a Failed Knight follows the story of Iki as he tries to prove his strength to the world that believes him to be the weakest, all the while gaining new friends, wisdom, and experience along the way. Number 6. Hinamatsuri. While rejoicing in the success of clinching a prize vase for his collection, Yoshifumi Nita, who so happens to be a Yakuza member, is rudely interrupted when a large peculiar capsule suddenly materializes and falls onto his head. He opens the capsule to reveal a young blue-haired girl who doesn't divulge anything about herself other than her name, Hina, and the fact that she possesses immense powers. And as if things couldn't get any worse, she loses control and unleashes an explosion if her powers remain unused. Faced with no other choice, Nita finds himself becoming her caregiver, caregiver. To let her use her powers freely, Nita asks Hina to help out with some construction deals which go smoothly. However, while this is happening, a rival Yakuza group covertly attacks his boss, and to Nita's shock, his colleagues later pin the blame on him. Now tasked with attacking a rival group in retaliation, Nita makes his way to their hideout, but suddenly Hina unexpectedly steps in and helps him wipe out the entire group. As it turns out, Hina might just become a valuable asset to Nita and his Yakuza business, provided she doesn't use her power on him first. And so, the strange life of this unusual duo begins. Number 5. The daily life of the Immortal King. As a cultivation genius who has achieved new realms every 2 years since he was only a year old, Wan Ling is now living a near-invincible existence with powers far beyond his control. But now that he is 16, he faces the greatest battle yet: senior high school. However, with one challenge after another popping up, his plans for a low-key school life seem to be growing further and further away. And thus, the daily life of the Immortal King follows Wan Ling's adventures through senior high school as his dreams of living a peaceful school life quickly are interrupted by a series of unfortunate events that once again force Ling into revealing his true powers in order to protect all that he holds dear. Number 4. The Irregular at Magic High School. In the dawn of the 21st century, magic, long thought to be folklore and fairy tale, has become systemized technology and is taught as a technical skill. In First High School, the institution for magicians, students are segregated into 2 groups based on entrance exam scores. Blooms, those who have received high scores, are assigned to the first course, while Weeds are reserved students assigned to the second course. The Irregular at Magic High School follows the siblings Tetsuya and Miyuki Shiba, who are enrolled at First High School. Upon taking the entrance exam, the prestigious Miyuki is placed in the first course, while Tetsuya is relegated to the second course. And though his practical test scores and status as a weed show him to be magically inept, he possesses extraordinary technical knowledge, physical combat capabilities, and unique magic techniques, making Tetsuya the Irregular at Magic High School. Number 3. The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. To the average person, psychic abilities may seem a blessing. However, for Saiki Kusuo, this couldn't be further from the truth. Gifted with a wide assortment of supernatural abilities, ranging from telepathy to X-ray vision, he finds his so-called blessing to be nothing but a curse, as all the inconveniences of his powers constantly pile up. And all that Kusuo desires is for an ordinary hassle-free life, and a life where ignorance is bliss. Unfortunately, the life of a psychic is far from quiet, and though Kusuo tries to stay out of the spotlight by keeping his powers a secret from his classmates, he ends up inadvertently attracting the attention of many odd characters, such as the empty-headed Riki Nendo and the delusional Shun Kaido. Now forced to deal with the craziness of the people around him, Kusuo comes to learn that the ordinary life he has been striving for is a lot more difficult to achieve than he could have ever imagined. Number 2. Mob Psycho 100. 8th grader Shigeo Kageyama, who is also known as Mob, has tapped into an inner wellspring of psychic powers at a young age, but the powers quickly prove to be a liability when he realizes the potential danger in his skills. Choosing to suppress his power, Mob's only present use for his ability is to impress his longtime crush, Tsubami, who's grown bored of the same old tricks. Now, in order to gain control over his skills, Mob enlists himself under the wing of Arakita Reagan, who exploits Mob's powers for pocket change. Now, exercising evil spirits on command has become part of Mob's daily monotonous life. However, the psychic energy that he exerts during these jobs is barely the tip of the iceberg, and if his vast potential and unrestrained emotions run berserk, a cataclysmic event that would render him completely unrecognizable would be triggered. However, with the help of Reagan and others that he meets along the way, he slowly learns to control this power that he once thought to be a curse. Number 1. Ranking of Kings. The people of the kingdom look down on the young prince Boji, who can neither hear nor speak. They even call him the useless prince while mocking his supposed foolishness. However, while Boji is not physically strong, he is certainly not weak of heart. When a chance encounter with a shadow creature should have left him traumatized, it instead makes him believe that he has found a friend amidst those who only choose to notice his shortcomings. He starts meeting with the shadow named Kage regularly, to the point where even otherwise abrasive creatures begin to warm up to him. Kage and Boji's unlikely friendship lays a budding foundation of the prince's journey, one where he intends to conquer his fears and insecurities. Despite the constant ridicule he faces, Boji resolves to fulfill his desires of becoming the best king he can be. Well, there you have it, my list of the top 10 anime where the main character looks and acts weak or lazy, but is actually extremely overpowered. So if you made it to the end of this video and enjoyed it or found it helpful, hit the like button and consider subscribing to stay updated with all future anime recommendations. In addition to that, if you have any genres that you would like for me to cover in a future video, let me know down in the comment section. But until next time, signing out.